Our choices. They are the essence of our being. Who we are comes down to the choices we make. When we are faced with a high-risk or problematic situation, we only have two choices: do something or do nothing. You are about to meet people who have done both. Like all of us, they each decided to act or not to act based on their own obstacles, and in that choice, they defined themselves. First, a lab technician named Dwayne Taylor was on his way home after midnight on a subway train and was asleep in his seat. A person who did not know Dwayne ushered his 6-year-old son to a seat on the train, took a hammer out of his backpack, and without provocation attacked the sleeping Dwayne with the hammer. 10 adults moved out of the way or stood by while he was beaten. One bystander took Dwayne's cell phone that fell from his pocket during the attack. Lauren Chief Elk and April Grohl are 20-year-old De Anza college students and teammates on the school's soccer team. They were leaving a party at a house when they realized something was wrong in a back room where the doors were closed and the lights were off. They told police, "We heard and saw a girl tapping on this door in the kitchen saying, 'There is a girl in there with 8 guys.' They tried to get in the room but were confronted and told to mind their own business. They watched what was happening through a crack in the door. They decided it was their business and busted in the room to get the girl held there out of the house. They reported the incident to the police." A man in D.C. recalled his bystander experience. He said, "I was on the D.C. Metro rail line. A woman standing near me suddenly collapsed on the floor. My brain didn't even seem to register what happened. I was just looking around trying to figure out what was going on. In the meanwhile, another woman bent down to hold the first one's head, and someone else called the train operator. When we arrived at the next station, a few people got off with the woman, and I saw them as we pulled out, standing with her, making sure she was okay. Why didn't I think of any of that?" In Hartford, Connecticut, police released a chilling video of a 78-year-old man trying to cross the street with a carton of milk. He steps off the curb just as 2 cars that appear to be racing swerve on the wrong side of the street. The first car swerves around the man. The second car hits him and throws him into the air like a doll, then speeds away. What follows is even more chilling. People walk by. 9 vehicles pass him lying in the street. Some drivers slow down to look but drive away. No one helped until a police car arrived. A quick-thinking commuter saved a teenager who apparently suffered a seizure and fell onto subway tracks in Upper Manhattan by jumping onto the tracks himself and pushing them both between the rails beneath the oncoming train.
On the New York City subway, it's hard enough finding someone who will give up his seat to a stranger, let alone be willing to give up his life for one.
The train was coming in like that.
It happened just 50-year-old Wesley Autry, a construction worker and Navy veteran, was standing on a subway platform with his 2 little girls when right in front of them, a man started having a seizure.
He kind of stumbled and over his own feet and fall backwards. I see a train coming, but the train is so close, I'm like, what do I do?
Wesley jumped onto the tracks and thought if he could just lie on top of the man, keep him from flailing, maybe the train would roll right over both of them. The clearance was exactly 21 inches. Wesley and the man, 20 and a half.
No way the train can stop before this gentleman could get him up off the tracks. So he covered him with his body and pushed him down to a point where the train wouldn't hit his head and held him down under the tracks while the train came and rolled right over the top of him.
It gave Wesley's children the scare of their young lives.
I thought he was going to get killed.
And Wesley, the scare of his, too.
I'm like talking to him, "Sir, you can't move. I got 2 kids up here looking for the father to come back. I don't know you, you don't know me, but listen, don't panic. I'm here to save you."
As for the guy Wesley saved, he's 20-year-old Cameron Hollipter. And other than a few scrapes and bruises, his father says he's doing fine.
Mr. Autry's instinctive and unselfish act saved our son's life.
You know, the word hero gets thrown around a lot nowadays.
What a better way to start off the new year than to save a life.
Nice to be reminded of what one really looks like. Steve Hartman, CBS News, New York.
Each of these individuals faced a crisis, and each had their own internal obstacles. Some chose action, some chose inaction. This isn't about judgment or criticism. This is about you taking a breath to sit with the question, how will you self-define?